Hello everyone, welcome back to today's video. In today's video, I kind of missed an intro. This may be surprising, but I was a little bit excited to open my TBR cart that I will be putting together and also constructing and putting books on the cart. But yeah, I was too excited, so there wasn't a intro for this. So I am here to introduce the next clips. You may be aware of this. On Instagram, I did post a little book room tour and it featured my new shelf and also my new TBR cart. So if you saw that, let me know. I got a TBR cart because I figured, as you can see behind me, I filled an entire shelf, and also my main shelf is basically almost completely full. So I thought it was a good idea to get a TBR cart so I could separate what I want to read from what I have read or I just want displayed. That's all there is to it. Why don't we go ahead and get right on into this video. Okay guys, so actually I thought more on this subject about the TBR cart behind me, and I'm thinking that I actually do want to go ahead and stack it full. This is the TBR cart. We have 3 layers to fill. I got like a wider one, so hopefully we could fill like back and front. Not sure how that's gonna work entirely, but we can sure try. I have like a whole bookshelf that I have not read, basically, so we're just gonna load this up. My method to the madness is probably going to be around like fantasy down here, and then it goes up into romance. So it's probably gonna be fantasy, dark romance, and then romance. That's what I'm thinking. However, if it fits, it's going on, you know? So I don't really how to get started. I am gonna kind of walk through it, like my process a little bit, so you'll be hearing that a little bit in this video as well. So let's go ahead and get on started. Okay, so the first order of business is probably, sadly, taking bare bones off of the TBR cart, then putting it to the side because you know I'm about to display this on my actual bookcase because, oh, she's gorgeous. So let's go ahead and start, I guess, on the bottom. That would probably make the most sense. You can't even see that. So give me 1 second while I fix your angle. Hopefully this angle is good enough. We'll start right here. So we're gonna start on this bottom shelf right here. This is dark romance, so I'll probably wait until we end up on the dark romance platform. I have the Cursed Kingdom, I believe it's called, and I got this like last Christmas, so I think I do need to end up, and this is in the wrong order. I always do that. Oh my gosh, I believe that this is the first one. Kingdom of the Wicked. All I know is that like it has death personified, and that's enough for me to say yes to adding it. This cart is just tall enough for the book to actually fit on there, so that's kind of good. And then we have Zodiac Academy, which I am in no place to start right now. I know there's 12 books and counting the novellas in this series, so I am in no way, shape, or form going to be starting this. And then we have the West Wind. I believe it's an enemies to lovers, and it has like princes, kingdoms, magic. Let's put that right there. This is probably going to be moved, so we'll just put that right there. Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. Yep. Oh my god, there's pictures in this. There's illustrations. Are you kidding? Wow. Okay. Wasn't expecting that, but here we are. Then we have Stalking Jack the Ripper. I would like to get to this. This probably should go on the cart. Yeah, I'll just put it like back here for now. Then we have a bunch of Jennifer Lynn Barnes books over here. The only ones I have not read is Bad Blood and The Greatest Games and Games Untold, and those will just probably be staying right there, if I'm honest. Next is Divine Rivals, which is YA, and it involves like rivals to lovers, I believe. I have had that book literally for 2 years now. It needs to be read. It needs to be read. And Education in Malice, I need to read it, and I heard it kind of has either lesbians or some kind of queer couple in it, maybe, or like hints. I don't know. But I am thrilled. These are not fantasy. That's why I'm putting it over here. These are like mostly fiction or not fantasy. Although I do think Education in Malice does have some kind of fantasy. Not sure which kind though, so. Okay, now let's move. So we got a whole stack over here in this area, all of these books I haven't read except for Heartless Hunter and Rebel Witch. And fun fact, I actually DMF'd Phantasma. So I don't know why I have this copy anymore. I think I'm just holding on hope that I will go back to it and read it. But let's be honest, I got like, I think I got to honestly night 3, which is 136 pages in. I was like 25% through the book or something like that, and I was just like, I don't understand why everyone loves it. I'm sorry, but yeah, I don't even know why I had this copy, if I'm going to be real. So that's great. Okay, then we have Metal Slinger, which is absolutely going on the cart because I need to read this. I actually have the indie copy, but I definitely got this like at least like 6, 7. Okay, that's crazy. This needs to be read. Dance of Thieves, I think I'll just leave right here, honestly. I don't have Vow of Thieves, so I have no inkling to pick this up unless oh wow, the map is gorgeous though. Wow, I have no inkling to pick this up because I don't have the second book already. So I think I'll just leave it here. One Dark Window is absolutely, this is like on my priority TBR. I have been seeing like amazing things about One Dark Window since it came out, and I have not read it. I have the entire duology, so why I haven't read it, I don't know. But I've heard it's like involves tarot cards as like the magic method. If you don't know, I have a stack of tarot up on my shelf over there, and I love like anything supernatural, like witchy, like I love that stuff. So absolutely, I will be reading that. Next, we have actually The Serpent in the Wings of the Night. I have not read this. Tell me why I haven't, and I cannot give you an answer, but the hardcover, gorgeous, gorgeous. I always love looking at that, honestly. But I've heard obviously so many amazing things about this book, about the series. I know that the next duology that's currently being published is not everyone's favorite, so I'm hoping that I will love this duology at least, and then maybe go on to the second part of this universe. But I really want to read this because I know it involves vampires, and as I just said, love supernatural stuff, so this is going on the TBR. Oh my gosh. Now we get into the good stuff. Not that any of the books already added are not good, but Terror at the Gates, I have heard non-stop amazing things about this book. So obviously I need to read it. Like, hello. And can I just say, I actually got the signed copy. My Barnes & Noble, I live in like kind of a small area. I wouldn't say it's huge. Okay, but I know my Barnes & Noble never gets signed copies, and the fact that I found this signed is immaculate. Like, that never happens, so it's just insane. And then that artwork, and then the dust jacket for this, like, I cannot. I've heard that this is like has a religious trauma built into it, and that will be a new plot point for me. I don't think I've ever read a book with religious trauma, so, and all this to say that I really want to get to it. I have a bunch of fantasy right here that are not on the cart, so maybe I'll take a few off that are not like absolutely I need to read them right now. Let me just take a few off. Be right back. I took The Wicked Kingdom, Divine Rivals, and the Atlas 6 off of the cart because I just know I'm not in that kind of mood to pick those books up. But next is very, very good books that I am very much wanting to read. We have Nocticadia by, I'm pretty sure, Carrie Lake. Yes. This book is like defined as, it's a dark romance, professor-student dark romance. It's just glorious, I've heard, so it has to go. It has to go on there. Next is The City of Gods and Monsters. You know, I've tried to pick this up like in 3 different TBR videos. However, it's just so thick, and I want to enjoy my time while reading this. I need to find time for this book, but it is going on the cart. It is, trust me. I'm not like running to grab this series, the Light Luck series, so I'm just gonna leave her there. I am on Skyshade though, and I know Crown Tide comes out fairly soon, so I'm gonna have to read Skyshade at some point. to get caught up. Next we have Reckless is the book that I'm in for the Powerless series, and kind of the same. I'm not running to pick this book up, so I'm just gonna leave her there. And we obviously have way more books to discuss, so okay, next I actually have Reign of Shadows and Endings, and this is absolutely going to be on the cart. She's so thick. She really is just so thick. How many pages? 650-ish pages. Now that doesn't sound too bad until you look at the sheer size of this paperback. This is like hardcover size for a paperback. Absolutely diabolical. This is going on the cart. The Book of Azrael. The Book of Azrael is next, and this is also going on the cart. I'm pretty sure it has vampires or something and gods. So, Touch of Golden Madness, I really do want to read this, but I'm just not like grabbing for it. You understand? You understand. Okay, now this, Kiss of the Basilisk, is actually a dark romance, but I just had it down here because it kind of goes with the theme down here. It has like snakes and roses and flowers and all of that such. So this is actually a traditionally published version of Split or Swallow, and I've heard crazy things about this book, and obviously I want to read that, like obviously. So on the TBR it goes. Next, Heavenbreaker. I'm not really in the mood to read Heavenbreaker, so she's gonna stay right there. The Half King. I do want to read this. I really do. I think we'll wait. We'll see where the time takes us, you know? Okay, next, Shield of Sparrows. Yeah, by Devony Perry. Beautiful book. Absolutely beautiful book. I am scared, but also kind of thrilled to read this kind of book. I know that it's kind of a slower character journey instead of like a plot carried story, so that's kind of the only reason I've been holding off on it. I'm just gonna move some of these books to kind of the back. Okay, let me move the cart out of the way so you guys can actually see. That would probably be helpful. Okay, next is a book I've already read, The Never List. You need to read it. Go read it. It is White Shoes, so if you're not into that, no pressure. I get it. I got you. The next book is Quicksilver by Callie Hart. I didn't get this book specifically because I wanted the cover without the man, because I can't. I think I'm also going to keep this here, and that's kind of only because I want it displayed. I'm going to be real. When the Moon Hatched. See, I want to put it on the TBR, but I also know I'm definitely not going to get to it. So I think I'm just going to leave that here. The next book, however, I am going to put it on the TBR, Iron Flame. I read Fourth Wing. I can't remember if I read it in a video or not, actually. I don't think I did. Wow, that's crazy of me. I don't know how much I can say without spoiling, so I'm just gonna leave it at, it's a fantasy, enemies to lovers, dear God, what's gonna happen in this book? And I'll leave it there. Alright, and that is that's where we're at. I guess we could add like 1 or 2 more books, which is kind of perfect because I have 1 or 2 more series that I want to put on this TBR. Okay. So I'm also going to be adding Belladonna by Adeline Garays to this TBR because I have had this series on my physical TBR for almost a year now. And it's time to read her. It really is. She's beautiful. She's beautiful. So I must know what happens. This is also death personified, I believe. On she goes to the TBR. What else am I going to add? I think I'm also going to be adding A Court of Winds and Ruin. Actually, maybe I'll just keep it there because it looks kind of beautiful. But let's move on to the dark romance. Okay, so we are on to the dark romance section of my shelf. This is basically where all of my dark romance lies, and basically everything that I haven't read with dark romance is going to be put on the cart. So let's start with Shallow River. These characters are traumatized. I'm pretty sure they get kidnapped and kind of trauma bond. So that's going to be interesting, very interesting to read about. Okay, the next book I'm adding is The Loser's Duet. I have the first book right here, I believe. This book is basically a White Shoes dark romance, and I love a White Shoes romance. I do, I really do. Obviously, this is being added. I'm gonna leave this one. Ooh, yes. I need to add Her Soul to Take by Harley LaRue because it is a demon dark romance. So this will also be added to the TBR. Haunting Adeline, I feel like I should definitely read. And also, if you're new to my channel, I have read almost all of the Legacy of Gods series, and I adore the Legacy of Gods. The only ones I have not read are God of Wrath, God of War. I also have not read, and I really do want to get those books. However, I have the old. I have these kinds of copies of them, and I am not getting the new ones. Like, I've already committed, I'm gonna keep committing. But I do hopefully want to read those books, so just giving a little heads up. But anyway, to say, I haven't read any H.G. Carlton, which is criminal, I know. I really do know. And Haunting Adeline is basically where most people start with dark romance. Wouldn't recommend that from what I've heard, but this is a national treasure. So I'm pretty sure that this is also like an indie copy of this book. And I know that it's traditionally published now. Like, it feels like matte and it feels like an indie copy. And it looks like an indie copy. And I know it's traditionally published now, so if I do read Haunting Adeline, which I've heard is even more dark than Haunting Adeline, so we'll see. Oh, next, yes, we are adding Saint to the TBR as well, because I've got this book because I heard it's MM. I love an MM romance. I think I only have like 3 on my actual shelf right now, which is devastating. Trust me, I'm aware. I need more recommendations. So if you guys have any recommendations for books that I'm pointing out, please let me know. Please let me know. Saint. MM Dark Romance. That's basically all I'm going to say, because that's all I know. Forge in Blood. Ooh. So we have a Why Choose Dark Romance, Dark Fantasy Romance, I believe. And I'm pretty sure that this is like a trilogy. I think it's a trilogy. I'm not sure. But I've heard that this book or the series is really, really good. So this will also be added. I can't remember any of these blurbs, but I think I'm going to leave that way because I like going into my books blind, as many of you know. So, okay, this I actually just got. Leave Me Behind by Kate Marinova. I got it because the sprayed edges and the cover are absolutely gorgeous, and I wanted to get it before it went away forever. So, and I think actually I've just learned that this author actually did the illustration. Well, I think she does the illustrations of her characters herself. So that's very cute. I'm pretty sure that this is a military romance, I think. We'll leave it at that. Next book is actually Kiss the Villain that I will be adding because this is the one Rena Kent book on my shelf I have not read. And actually, which is kind of insane, this is Beautiful Venom by Rena Kent, by the way. I gave this 5 stars and I gave God of Fury 5 stars. So she has a pretty good, her and I get along. Hopefully Kiss the Villain will be even more amazing. This is awful, but I was at Barnes & Noble and they said that they didn't have the copy of Kiss the Villain, and I was like, what? So I had to get it through Amazon. I know, deeply saddened, but I don't have any bookstores like other than Barnes & Noble near me, which is criminal, I know. Thinking about starting my own. But I had to get the Amazon version of it. Sadly, this is also MM. This is Gareth, which is our first book in the Legacy of God's brother, his brother. I've heard that Gareth is even more insane than Killian, which is, how is that possible? I don't know. So I guess we'll find out, I guess we'll find out. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure this is also like a professor-student kind of thing. So interesting. So let me put these on the shelf and try to organize it, and then we'll keep going. Okay, I am back. I forgot to put Little Stranger on this cart, so I will be doing that. I just wanted to let y'all know. I believe that this is Prelude. I don't know what it's called. It's probably on screen. To Little Liar. So we gotta put this on. I'm pretty sure it's like this guy went to prison, and then the woman was the one who put him in prison, and then he gets out of prison, and then he goes after her because he's kind of obsessed with her. That kind of thing. Okay, so maybe if we're lucky, we could get a couple more books on the back. Alright, I've read all of these. Burn Bright. Let's go ahead and put Burn Bright on the TBR. Beautiful sprayed edges, yes. Okay, Addicted for now. I'm gonna keep this series together from what I have of the series. And then let's put The Right Move on the TBR as well, if we can. So I'm being pinched right now. Oh my goodness. The Right Move. by Liz Humphord. I've read Mile High. I really enjoyed Mile High. I don't know why everyone hates on it, if I'm gonna be honest. But usually what I found is that if people hate on a book, I end up loving it. So, which happens a lot. And then if people love a book, I end up not liking it. So, really unfortunate. Okay, next, I think we're gonna put King of Wrath. I really want to read Twisted Lies by Anna Wong, because this is the last book in the series that I have not read, and I really want to read it. And it's been really like calling to me. I don't know why. This series is kind of a dim romance. Like, it's a darker than your normal kind of romance, but it's not like dark romance. You get me? So we have The Nanny. I'm gonna leave her there. I'm just gonna leave her there. I'm not really itching to get to that book, unfortunately. First time caller, I've read Riley Sager, the only one left. My mom read it because I basically got it for her, if I'm gonna be honest, because she loves thrillers, she loves Stephen King, and she read it and she enjoyed it for the most part. So hopefully I'll enjoy it. I'm not really a thriller girly, so I wanted something short, almost 400 pages, but I feel like it's like I could literally fan myself with this book. Anyway, next, Abby Jimenez. I think I'm gonna leave that there because her books tend to be more summery, which is fine, just not the right season for that. Throttled, I'm also gonna leave there. 7 Years Slip, I think I'm also gonna leave that there because I'm pretty sure it takes place in like spring, and obviously we are in winter, so I'm not gonna read a spring book in winter. Next, Collide. I will be adding, because this is a ice hockey romance, sports romance. I cannot tell you how much I enjoy sports romance, which is kind of why I get so many hockey romances, is because, first of all, it's Icebreaker's fault, because I loved Icebreaker, and then I was like, yes, here we are. Collide. Beautiful illustrations. I know that Spiral is the next book in that series, and then Revolve is coming out, or came out, something. So I need to catch up. The Nightmare Before Christmas, I'm also putting on the TBR. Could you imagine why? This is like a Halloween versus Christmas book. Nicholas Cole Claus used to love Christmas until his father, the reigning Santa, turned the holiday into a PR facade. Cole would do anything to escape the spectacle, including getting tangled in a drunken, substreamly hot makeout session with a beautiful man behind a seating bar one night. Things go bad to worse when a rival arrives to challenge Cole for the princess's hand, and Cole comes face to face with his mysterious behind-the-bar hottie. Heck, the Prince of Halloween. And then they kind of like rival. It sounds really good. It really does. And this will be definitely, I will be reading this. So I'm just finding what time I should read this, because it's like Halloween and Christmas themed. So I don't know. I really don't know. I kind of look like red in this light. Next, Cross the Line. That seems like a very summery book, don't you think? So I think I'm just gonna leave her here. Unsteady. I'm also putting on the TBR because ice hockey romance, you know me. Beach read, obviously not. Girl Abroad is more in the spring, I feel. So I'm gonna leave her there as well. Beartown. Yeah, this I fear takes place in the winter. I do think I have to read it this winter. Beartown, I hope to read during the winter. So let's put her on the TBR as well. Fine Print, I'm not in a hurry to get to that, so I'm just gonna leave her there. If you had been with me, same. The way I used to be, same. And it's also kind of spring coated at the cover, but I really do want to read this. Friend read it, who is not like totally into books, but she reads a little bit, and she said it was fine. So I'm scared, but I must know. Whew. Check and Mate. I don't know. I think I'll just leave her there. Same with Delilah Green Doesn't Care, because it's very like spring. A Dawn of Onyx. I really do want to read this series, and I've heard amazing things for this series as well, so I'm gonna actually put it on this. Moving on, we have One Autumn in Whitechapel. I think I'm going to wait because it says One Autumn. I feel like that's you kind of get why Project Hail Mary is going on the TBR, because the movie is coming out. And my father really loved this book, and I fear that I need to read it. It's time. It really is. I've been putting this off for so long. On she goes. This is kind of sci-fi though, so maybe I'll put it in the fantasy area. But next, Stephen King, Billy Summers. I do have to read this. It's a thriller, or I don't know if it's like exactly a thriller. I think it's a mystery. It does follow a serial killer, so that'll be interesting. Yeah, and I think that's it. 10 things that never happened. I think I'll wait on that. I'm not like in a hot hurry to get to that. This book, however, I think it takes place in a different season, but if I'm honest, I already know I'm gonna love this series, and I think I may even love Daisy Hates more. I don't know why I'm feeling that, but I'm kind of feeling that vibe. I want to read the series in not chronological, publishing order, hopefully soon. I think that's kind of where we're at right now. I also think I'm going to put Redeeming Sick on here as well because, hear me out guys, because I really want to read the rest. Joey's story, I've been really thinking about it a lot and I'm like, I miss Joey. Definitely on the TBR for sure. I think that's kind of it. I mean, I do have a couple of books still on the shelf, clearly. So this is what the shelf looks like now. And I do have another bookshelf coming for this corner over here to put more books on. Bare Bones. I really do want to read. Hopefully, I'll get to this book. I'm so excited. Thanks for watching. Let me actually show you my TBR card because I feel like we went on a journey together and you must see it. So let me get you. Okay, and this is a TBR card. Can you believe it? I cannot. These are the romances I have. I'm probably gonna reorganize this if I'm honest because it looks kind of ew. Not gonna lie. Then we have the dark romance, which I think I'll just leave like this. Honestly, it looks kind of nice like that. Then we have the fantasy. I kind of like it like that, so I'll probably leave it like that. And then back here, oh my god, it's so heavy. Holy, it's literally so heavy. Like the front wheels don't even move. Over here we have An Education in Malice, Belladonna, and also A Dawn of Onyx. And then we have Stocking Jack the Ripper, Metal Slinger, and also One Dark Window back here. I think I'm gonna move like fiction up here, sci-fi back down there. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. This has been a long video for me, so if you enjoy this kind of content, let me know, and you'll probably see this card in the upcoming future. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a very fantastical rest of your day. Bye.